All right, so you want to go deep.
Let's do it.
You asked for Mach-Hommy's Pray for Haiti, and let me tell you, this is not just another album drop.
Oh, absolutely not.
This is a statement.
Yeah.
We're talking Haitian history, sonic landscapes that are going to blow your mind, lyrics that'll have you hitting rewind like 5 times.
Please.
We're going full Blinkist on this, figuring out why everyone's calling this thing a landmark in hip-hop.
Well, and the timing of it all, right? We're talking 2021.
Oh, yeah.
The world's kind of still figuring things out, and then boom, Mach-Hommy drops this album. And not only that, but he's reuniting with Griselda.
Who he had not been, like, super tight with recently.
Yeah, there was some distance there. So you have this reunion, but it's not just a musical one. It's symbolic. It's like...
The prodigal son returns.
Exactly. And the music, it benefits from that energy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Griselda was already doing their thing, that raw, gritty sound, and then you add Mach-Hommy back into the mix.
It's like they were always meant to be together, musically speaking. And you can feel West Side Gun's presence throughout the album, too.
Totally. Like, his fingerprints are all over it.
His production, those signature ad-libs, it creates this framework for Mach-Hommy's unique style to just explode. But don't get it twisted, this album is pure Mach-Hommy, especially when you consider what was happening in the world back in 2021. Pandemic, social unrest. Haiti especially was going through a lot.
Right, and Mach-Hommy, he doesn't shy away from any of it.
Not at all. He leans in hard. This isn't just music for him. It's a cultural statement. And his Haitian heritage. It's not just a little sprinkle on top.
No, it's like the whole damn dish.
It's the DNA of this album. Like, take his use of Haitian Creole. That's not a gimmick.
Right. It's deliberate.
He's saying, this is me. This is my culture. I mean, he raps entirely in Creole on Fed Hampton.
Wow.
It's like he's inviting you into his world, but on his own terms.
Yeah, and I respect that. It's like he's challenging the listener, saying, hey, are you going to meet me halfway here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes you question the whole idea of who art is really for. You know, he's not catering to some mainstream audience. He's speaking his truth.
And that, I think, is what makes it so impactful. But it's not just the lyrics, right? Sonically, Pray for Haiti is, well, it's something else. Have you ever heard an album that sounds like this?
It's unique. It's not your typical hip-hop sound, that's for sure.
The first time I heard it, the word fragmented came to mind.
Interesting.
Like, he took all these sonic pieces and put them together in this really intentional yet disjointed way.
And see, that's the thing. The fragmentation is intentional. Take the drumless beats, for example.
Yeah, okay.
Some artists use them, but Mach-Hommy, he takes it to a whole other level. It's like, imagine a song, no drums, just these layers of samples, loops that are slightly off-kilter, these eerie melodies, almost like a soundtrack to a suspense film.
Oh, now that you mention it, it does have that cinematic vibe. But how does that tie into everything else we've been talking about, you know, with the historical context and everything?
Well, think about it. 2021. Information overload, right? The world feels fractured, and the music reflects that. But it reflects it in a way that makes you pay attention.
It's almost like he's holding up a mirror.
He's forcing you to engage, to piece together the meaning, like you would with a complex news story or a challenging book.
It's like he's reflecting the chaos of the world in this really artful way.
Exactly, and that's where the lyrics come in, just as layered, just as complex as the music.
Yeah, he'll be talking about, like, designer clothes 1 minute, and then bam, he hits you with some Haitian history or a philosophical concept that makes you really think.
And he does it all so casually, which makes you really have to pay attention. It's wild.
So we've got these thought-provoking lyrics delivered over these intricate beats, and then there's this whole other layer of meaning embedded in his Haitian heritage. How does that history, specifically Haiti's fight for independence, how does that connect with the themes of Pray for Haiti?
See, that's where it gets even deeper. Haiti's history, man, it's all about resilience. I mean, when you're talking about the first Black Republic, right? Born out of a revolution against colonialism.
Powerful.
And that spirit, that fight for freedom against all odds, it's in the music. It echoes throughout Mach-Hommy's work.
So it's like he's tapping into this bigger story, this narrative of Black liberation, but through his own lens, his own experience.
Exactly. When he's talking about the American dream, the pursuit of material wealth, he's coming at it from this place of understanding the true cost of freedom. The struggles a nation like Haiti, they've endured. It adds a whole other dimension to his message.
It's deeper than just get money, be successful.
Right. It's like he's saying we've fought for our freedom, and this obsession with material things, it distracts from the real fight.
It makes you think about those priorities.
Absolutely. And, it ties into this whole idea of exclusivity as a form of resistance.
Oh, yeah, we touched upon that earlier.
Some folks, they criticize Mach-Hommy for the limited releases, the price of his merch.
It's definitely a conversation starter.
But you could argue that it's his way of taking back control in an industry that often exploits artists.
Interesting perspective.
It's like he's saying, my art has value, and I'm going to decide how it's shared, how it's appreciated.
He's not playing by the traditional rules?
Nope. He's creating his own path, and in doing so, he's making us question everything. Ownership, authenticity, what art even means in a capitalist society. Big questions.
And it's clearly resonated. I mean, we're here talking about it, right?
Exactly. And it's more than just the business side. Musically, Pray for Haiti is like a masterclass in taking the elements of hip-hop, the foundation, and reconstructing it.
Yeah, when I listen to it, it feels familiar, but then it also feels like nothing I've ever heard before.
Right. There's this raw, almost underground vibe, but then this incredible attention to detail.
The way he uses those samples, man.
The way he puts together his verses. He's clearly studied the greats, but he's not copying.
It's like he's building on what came before.
You hear echoes of that classic New York hip-hop, that dense lyrical style, but filtered through his own experiences, his Haitian roots.
That's what makes it so unique. He's pushing the boundaries of what hip-hop can be, but he's not doing it for shock value.
It's not about being flashy. It's about staying true to himself, his message. No compromises. And I think that's what resonates with people. It's real. It's raw. You can feel it.
It's interesting, though, because he's not making it easy for the listener. You really have to work for it. Decipher the lyrics, do the research. It's not just background music.
And that's the beauty of it. He's not trying to spoon-feed you anything. He's inviting you to meet him on his level. Think critically. Engage.
It's a challenge.
It's a rewarding one, though. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Every time I listen to Pray for Haiti, I discover something new. Like, there's always another layer to uncover. It's an album that just keeps on giving.
That's the sign of a true artist. Someone who creates work that's layered, complex, rewarding. It's an experience, not just an album.
And it sparks these important conversations about cultural identity, artistic integrity. It reminds you of the power of music, to challenge, to inspire.
And that brings us to what I think is a really important point. We've talked a lot about impact, right? But can an artist who's this exclusive, can they really spark widespread change? It's a question worth asking.
It's like he's a walking contradiction, in a way. He's outside the mainstream completely, but then his influence, you can't deny it.
It's like he's created this whole underground movement, but without ever really trying to create a movement, if that makes sense.
It does. It's like they say, the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? He's not waiting for anyone's permission. He's just doing his own thing. And that's powerful.
It really is. And it speaks to something bigger about art. What's it for? Mach-Hommy, he's not just making music in a vacuum, right? He's using his platform to say something, to challenge us, to make us think about things differently.
And he's not compromising, not one bit, not trying to water down his message or make it more palatable. And that's what hits hard,
Exactly. Sometimes it's the things that challenge us, that make us uncomfortable. Those are the things that really stick with us.
The things that make us ask questions. And that's what I hope you take from this whole deep dive.
I'm with you on that.
Into Pray for Haiti.
It's an album that stays with you. It's a conversation starter, a piece of history, but also something totally new.
So if you haven't already, go give it a listen. Really spend some time with it. Dive into those lyrics. Explore the production. It's got layers, man. You might not get it all on the first listen, and that's okay.
That's part of the fun.
That's part of the journey.
Embrace the challenge. Let the music wash over you. Who knows? Maybe you'll discover your next sonic obsession.
And on that note, this has been amazing. Thanks for diving deep with us. We can't wait to explore some more sonic landscapes with you soon.
Anytime.
Keep those headphones tuned and those minds open. We'll catch you on the flip side.